and welcome to episode 2 of the Hot Seat with First We Teach. I'm your host, Jennifer Barnwell, and today we have Mr. Hall, a longtime math teacher at Lakewood. Are you excited for the episode today?
I am so excited.
How well do you handle spice?
How well do I handle spice? Pretty well, I'd say.
Pretty well. So there are some rumors that you have the third hottest hot sauce at your house.
And you know what? I recently looked it up. It actually was the second hottest hot sauce, but I looked it up, and since I bought it, it has gone down to number 5.
Have you tried it?
I have. It's called The End.
Oh,
Flatline, The End.
Flatline, The End.
Yep.
Well, we don't have The End, but we do have some pretty hot sauces
I
today.
heard that.
So, our first wing is with spicy shark.
Spicy
So
shark.
that's the one, the hottest is towards the handle. So we're going to start on this side.
Okay.
All
All right. So we're both starting over
Both
here.
starting
All
over
right, gotcha.
here.
Spicy shark.
Yes.
Cheers.
So this week we are doing cauliflower wings, suggested by Mr. Hall and Mr. Cadwell. So we made them. Our group, First We Teach, made them just now.
You did a good job. They're pretty good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
You enjoying it? What are we thinking?
Well, it's got a good spice to it. Gotta make your lips just a little
Well,
numb, tongue a little tingly, but not too bad. Not
Yes.
terrible.
All right. Well, what made you decide to go into education?
Well, my first job was as a commercial pressman. So I worked at a commercial print shop where I made t-shirts and also paper printing. So I printed things like artwork, art reprints and whatnot. And I did that while my wife was in school, and she was in school to become a teacher. Crazy. She is a teacher. So I put her through school to do that, and I kind of started watching her do that, and it kind of sparked my interest. And I said, you know what? I kind of like math. It's all right. Maybe I can do better than the people that taught me. That didn't happen, but I'm trying.
You're trying.
So.
So while you're teaching math, we think of like jingles or songs to remember anything. A few different ones that we have. Quadratic formula songs. We got the FOIL songs. We got some calc songs. Have you ever had songs that you've made?
I have
before?
never made a song for my class. However, the teacher across from the hall from me, I would regularly hear playing songs on her speakers that would come right across to my room, and it was quite loud. But no, I've never done that.
No. Well, hey, you never know.
Maybe today. Who knows?
Who knows? So, our next wing is the Adobo Loco.
Adobo's a spicy one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, and it's
Ready?
crazy adobo.
Yes.
Oh, all right. Here we go. Dropped my napkin on the floor. Probably can't use it now.
Definitely. All right. So your math certification, you have a primary EX math certification, which means you can teach 12 classes. We're gonna give you 30 seconds, and we're gonna try and see how many of those 12 classes that you know that you can teach.
I can teach more than just the math cert.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, but just the math EX certification.
All right.
Ready? Go ahead.
I could do 6th grade math. I could do 7th grade math, 8th grade math. I could do algebra 1. I could do algebra 2. I could do geometry. I can do pre-calculus. I can do calculus. I also could do any sort of integrated math that happens at any of those levels as well. That's all I'm going to give you.
That's all you're gonna give me?
No.
All right.
What else do I got?
You did pretty good.
Ooh, number 3. Yeah.
And STEM and STEAM.
Oh, yeah. STEM and STEAM I can see, but I wouldn't necessarily think about those as an actual class because most schools kind of incorporate them with everything else. So, well, yeah, number 3, I wouldn't have thought of it. Math, arithmetic, I would think is more your middle school. So.
Alrighty.
Awesome.
Well, our next sauce is Da Bomb Evolution. bomb evolution, which is all natural.
That's the bomb.
And then we've got another one that's coming up that's even worse.
Okay, so this
But
is the bomb what?
This is the bomb evolution.
Evolution. All right, so this is going to make me grow a tail.
You never know.
All right, good to know.
All right, so we're gonna play some word association games. First up, if I'm not good at math, I should probably not become
Physicist.
a. Really? So math.
You're going to make it, Jennifer.
Oh, hold on.
That one was hard, for sure.
Yeah. So, a physicist. Have you ever wanted to become a physicist?
No,
Why not?
I don't know. I've never thought about it.
Well, you should be good at math, so why not?
Right, I am good at math, but I don't know. Seems a little too much for me. Actually, the other career I thought about doing was more getting into the actuarial sciences.
Oh.
So that would be one that I would have thought about going into. It would have sparked my interest a little more. But, yep, more great.
All right. Next question.
All right, what we got?
Are math magicians a real thing?
Math magicians are. Okay, math magician. I actually saw a math magician. This guy was amazing. He was at a conference that I went at, and he could square any number up to 4 digits in his head. I watched him do it. It was crazy.
Yeah.
2 digits I could get. I could actually do that too. It takes me a minute to think about, but not as quick as him. But he got up to 4 digits, math magician, and he made a mistake. But what he did was he put everyone in front of the room for each one of the digits and said, "All right, says, I know I got it wrong. Just tell me which number's wrong. Which one of you did I get wrong?" And they raised their hand. He says, "All right, give me just a second," and he fixed it. Had it perfect.
Wow.
I mean, it was amazing.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
So math magician.
Math magician's real. Now, magician, other than that, I don't know. That's all I got. So I'm thinking we got one.
How far can you do pi?
How far can I do? I can give you 2 whole digits.
2?
2 whole digits.
What are they?
3.14.
You almost said 0.3. You couldn't even get 1 digit.
Now that poster or not poster, the mural in the math hall, I did make that. So
Okay.
it does
What'd
have
you look
that has 100 digits, but I couldn't calculate those if I had to. No.
All right. So there are 2 trains on the same track headed towards each other. One leaves at 7 a.m. from San Francisco, traveling at 85 miles an hour, while the other leaves from New York at 11 a.m., traveling 100 miles per hour. At what point do the trains collide? See, this isn't meant for you to actually answer, but more spark the idea of why do you think kids think story problems are so intimidating?
I don't think they're ever going to meet.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, why do you
Because
think
they're going to stop somewhere else.
Well,
They didn't say they're going to the same destination.
True.
So I don't know. And there's no question mark either, really. So I'm
Hey,
kinda
at the
wondering-
bottom,
Oh, it's down there. All right, that's what I was looking for.
not just a statement.
No, it's very. Words are hard.
Yeah.
And that's definitely, it was funny. I a few years back had a young lady that I tutored in Grand Ledge. I see her every now and again still, but she, we're sitting at her table and we're kind of going over some stuff, and I started stumbling over and she says, "Yeah, words are hard," and it stuck with me. It was hilarious. It was the funniest thing I ever heard. It was my new thing. Words are hard. I took it from her, and they're hard. They're hard.
They are?
English is what makes math hard, not math. Just saying.
All right. Well, now we are on to the bomb ground zero.
So this is another bomb.
So just for this one specifically, don't touch your face or your eyes or anything like that.
I remember that disclaimer when I watched the
Yeah.
Mr. Williams episode. So, all right.
So cheers.
Sure. Cheers. We can do it. Bottoms up.
So you're going the whole thing. I'm impressed. So, you as you talked about earlier, have a t-shirt printing business.
Mm-hmm.
So what kind of got you into that other than talk a little bit more about what got you?
Not the whole thing next time.
You know,
So-
I wasn't going to stop you. but-
No, don't stop me. So actually the real reason I started doing that wasn't what I wanted to do.
Mhm.
I have done in my past, like I said, so then I kind of got back into it as I was watching a lot of my students going to custom ink, and that drove me crazy that we were not buying things locally. I know how much they charge for stuff like that.
Mhm.
I felt like we were getting ripped off. So I primarily did it to help lower their costs.
That's great. So this pictured here is our shirts for the peer-to-peer suicide prevention group. And we love our shirts. How you feeling?
Good.
You ready for another wing, or you want a question first?
Let's do a question first.
A question first. All right. So
I'm gonna get some more water too.
yeah. So what is it like having your kids in the building while you teach?
I have had all 4 of my kids in my class. With the exception of my youngest, I have not had camera yet. In the building, it's not a big deal. They've all been so different and so interesting. My oldest hid from, well, she hid in my classroom a lot of times because she was nervous being around too many new people. So she kind of finally got her niche and moved in, figured out who she wanted to be with and whatnot, and it was great. My older son, he ignored me completely. I never saw him for 4 years until he was actually in the classroom. So I wouldn't have known he was here unless he was getting in trouble. And yes, he did get in trouble. If that was the next question,
Yes.
yeah, all right. And then, and then my next youngest son, he's graduated too now. He is, your eyes are watering.
Yeah.
Jennifer. So he would come to my room a bit and would spend a little more time with me. It was a little nicer. But my youngest daughter, she is my sweetest, and she wants to spend lots of time with Dad. She actually likes me most of the time. She hangs out with me a little bit, so it's kind of nice.
Do your kids like having classes with you?
I don't think they disliked it. I had my mother for a class when I was in school, and I always tell everybody it was the hardest B I ever heard because she was very hard on me, harder on me than anybody else. So I try to not treat them any differently than I treat anyone else. However, you know that's not possible. It's my kid, and they're going to do what they're supposed to do. And you're going to want to whack them a little bit. You know, that's just how it is. Stop it.
Yes. All right. Are you ready for another?
No, but I'll do it.
Here we go.
All right.
So this
What
is
this?
the alchemy pepper watermelon sauce.
Watermelon. See, that can't be too bad.
You would think, right?
I noticed you gave me the biggest one of that. So that was like the biggest cauliflower.
Yeah. But now you've learned. So you took a small bite this time?
Smaller. Yeah.
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 A little bit.
That-
Well, you cleaned those other two. I'm impressed. Yeah. Well.
Now I noticed that the heat level was all the way up on that pepper. Does that mean this was just as hot?
We'll get there.
Okay, I'm just
So-
worried. Uh-oh. I know where this
There
question's
is
going.
a bit of a rumor going around that you've been pulled over often but never gotten a ticket.
That is not entirely accurate. The never getting a ticket was not accurate. However, I have been pulled over more times than I can count on my hands.
4 times?
I think if I brought my toes into it, I think we would be okay. I have had a couple tickets, but not anything in the last probably 20 years.
Yeah. Is there a method to not getting a ticket?
Yeah. I'm that guy that drives down 43 going 54 mile an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So that's
Is there a method to getting out of the ticket?
method to getting out of the ticket. Once you get old like me and they see you driving in the car, they pull you over and they go, "No, leave this old guy alone." You know, it's just now. As a younger me, I think a lot of the times when I got pulled over, and some of you kids might attest to this, when you're out a little later than you should be, and you're a little younger, and you pass a police officer and they see you, they think, you know what, I'm going to stop him just to check and make sure he's not up to no good.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I got a little bit of that, and I did tend to be out a little later than I should have several times. So.
Okay. So we're on to our last cauliflower. Are you ready? You don't know. I keep going to say wings, but you know.
Yeah, Philip, it kind of
Well,
is.
we have a tradition where you can do the last dab, where you add a little bit extra sauce for the last one.
Uh-huh.
You go for it?
Did Williams do it?
No.
He didn't do it?
Mm-mm.
How's it a tradition?
Well, we're gonna make it.
All right, let's do it. Two drops. Okay. All right. Oh, I got more than 2 drops. I think you did that on purpose.
Remember?
All right.
Last one. Cheers.
Cheers. Did you rub some of that on here?
Probably not. So, Talking Barbie came out in 1992, and her epic first words were, "Math is tough." Do you think that there's a gender bias in math going to college for math?
I think there can be. I think that it's definitely leveled out a lot more. I would say that some of the smartest people in my math classes in college were actually female, some of the best students and some of the best all around. So I think that bias has started to swing, but yes, definitely. Back in what year did you give me?
1992.
1992. It was a lot worse than it is right now. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I would say even in high school right now, if you were to go around and you were to talk to some of the students that are around here, they would also say that some of the girls in the classes tend to be a little bit better at math than a lot of the boys. Now, it doesn't mean that girls are better at math than boys. It doesn't mean boys are better at math than girls. It's just we might see that. And I think some of that is school a lot of times tends to be geared towards people that can sit still. A lot of times we all have a hard time sitting still. So I do too. I have a hard time sitting still. Girls have a hard time sitting still. We all do. So when we struggle, it's that we're having a hard time wanting to actually just sit there and focus. And that tends to be where the struggle comes in. So, how'd that tradition do for you?
Well, we're really good. So, we want to thank our sponsors at LES. And now that you've done it all, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling okay.
Feeling okay?
I'm alive. It wasn't terrible. Honestly, I say that one was the hottest.
The watermelon.
The watermelon one was the hottest, or at least it was the one that made your stomach go. You know,
Felt it a little bit in your stomach.
So,
yes. Well, we want to thank you for coming on the show, and we want to say thank you to everyone watching. And this was